Teen Wolf the movie, released back in January of 2023, saw the first appearance of a second confirmed True Alpha in the Teen Wolf universe, that True Alpha being Derek Hale. In this video, I'm going to be coming up with sort of a hypothetical argument for how powerful and just how strong Derek Hale would have been if we would have seen more of him as a True Alpha throughout not only the Teen Wolf movie, but the future potential sequel. So strap in and let's get started. So, if you have seen Teen Wolf the movie, you are fine, but if you have not seen Teen Wolf the movie, spoilers will be included in this video, so you have been warned. So at the very end of Teen Wolf the movie, Derek Hale, when restraining the no Kitsune, turned into a True Alpha. And why do I say he got turned into a True Alpha? It's because he sort of was in the same situation as Scott McCall. He used the sheer force of his will and virtue of his characters to ascend to Alpha status without killing another Alpha. And that's kind of where we're sitting at with that right now, because there's no other way to explain how Derek became an Alpha before he died other than that he's also a True Alpha as well, because the only other method we know of becoming an Alpha is that you have to kill another Alpha to steal their power and gain those powers and abilities in that status. So yeah, Derek is a True Alpha for all intents and purposes. How strong would Derek Hale be? Now, I had a conversation with this with my friend Hoechlin on DMs on Discord. If you guys are not subscribed to him, go subscribe to his channel. He's about to hit 100,000 subscribers soon. I'm really proud of him. He's doing great work over on his channel, so if you guys can go subscribe to him, that'd be greatly appreciated. But during our conversation in DMs on Discord, we were discussing just how strong True Alpha Derek would be, and I kind of agree with his sentiment in the fact that True Alpha Derek would be teen Scott McCall level. And I'm talking about teen Scott in the sense that, you know, teen Scott as a True Alpha, not adult Scott, because adult Scott I think would rock Derek pretty easily, and I think the movie showcased enough of a power gap to pretty much tell you that. Like, he was punching through brick walls with ease, and he was fighting multiple Onis at once, as seen in the trailer for the movie. Not so much in the movie itself, but in the trailers you can see he was pretty much taking out Oni like they were fodder, which is a far cry compared to when he was a True Alpha as a teenager. When he was fighting the Oni, he was getting beaten down pretty bad. So clearly there's a power gap between teenage Scott and adult Scott, and I don't think it's even remotely close. I would say adult Scott in terms of power is probably second only to Deucalion as an Alpha. For sure, he would definitely beat season 1 Alpha Peter, not even up for discussion there. It's pretty one-sided, but in terms of Derek, I definitely think he's at like peak teenage True Alpha Scott McCall levels of power, and that's because we've already seen Derek pretty much best Scott for a majority of the original series of MTV Teen Wolf, and as a True Alpha with that additional Alpha spark again on top of him being evolved, so technically he's an evolved True Alpha, so he'd be even more powerful than a regular True Alpha would be. So yeah, I think he would actually be above teenage Scott in my opinion. Like, I think if those two were to fight, Derek would come out on top pretty easily, and I don't even think it's that much of a, you know, highball, or I guess whatever term you want to use to come up with that conclusion, because when Derek fought Kate Argent in season 4, he was able to take her out in like 10 seconds. No, that was her Berserker. He was able to take out her Berserker in like 4 seconds, but he was also able to take her out in like 1 attack. That's what I meant to say previously. But yeah, the fact that he was able to take out Kate Argent in that season pretty easily with like 1 attack, and she was giving Scott McCall a run for his money, even though granted he was ambushed alongside Kira at the time by Kate and her Berserker. Still, Scott's gonna have to take the L on that one. Derek taking her out does give him bonus points over Scott in this instance. So yeah, that's just like my small little 2 cents on why I think Derek Hale would be easily one of the strongest characters in the series, because True Alpha Scott as a teenager is already up there, right? If Derek Hale, who's already an evolved werewolf, is getting the True Alpha power, really Alpha power, because True Alpha is not really a power within itself, it's really just a status, but if he gets the Alpha power on top of being an evolved werewolf, he'd probably be up there with his mother, who I would throw around hypothetical saying she's one of the most powerful werewolves in the verse too, even though we don't really see her do anything throughout the series. So yeah, I'm pretty confident saying that Derek would be easily top maybe 5, 6 strongest characters in Teen Wolf if he isn't already by the end of Teen Wolf the movie, despite us not seeing him do a single thing, which is kind of insane saying that, but that's just Derek Hale at the end of the day. Like, dude's been one of the most underrated and one of the strongest characters in the series, and he's a sleeper powerhouse for sure. Like, no one really talks about Derek in the same vein as the other werewolves in terms of like power and strength, unless it's like him in his evolved form. But even him as an alpha, like Derek as an alpha was pretty strong for the most part. He just went up like against really strong opponents, and I already made a video covering Alpha Derek in my Strongest in Teen Wolf series, so if you haven't watched that video, there will be a pin card, I think right here on screen, on that, and watch that as well. But that's gonna do it for the end of this video. I do think Derek would be top 5, top 6 strongest characters in Teen Wolf for sure. Maybe not overall, but probably with the werewolves without question. He'd probably be third, right behind Adult True Alpha Scott and Hoechlin. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and when you do, hit the notification bell so that you never miss any future videos from me. I'm Jade, happy to be back. Crazy doing videos again on here. Feels great, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.